Hello and welcome. Today we are looking at the SJRC S70W GPS drone. This drone has a remote tilting 1080p camera. It has dual GPS, follow me, waypoints, and plenty of other automated features such as auto takeoff, auto land, and more. So let's take a closer look at this drone. Now, the drone comes in this big white rectangular box showing the drone and all its features here in the front. As you can see, it's from SJRC. It's the S Series S70W GPS for ages 14 plus. And right down here it has a listing of some of its features, such as the 90-degree articulating camera, GPS return home, follow me technology, draw the point or waypoints, and critical battery return. So very nice setup here, as you can see, from SJRC here. And right here on the side of the box we have some QR codes and a little information about the app, which is SJRC SJGPS. So you would need to download that either to your Apple or Android phone. And right here in the back we have the black model shown right here, and this one looks a lot like either the Promark GPS shadow drone or the Holy Stone HS100. So there are a few models that look like this and are very similar. And here it talks a little bit about the articulating camera, the battery, which is a 7.4 volt 2500 milliamp lithium ion battery, which gives about 12 to 15 minutes worth of flight. And here's a little more information about the features it has. It has a 9-axis gyroscope, it has a dual GPS positioning, headless mode, so on and so forth. So very cool and loaded with features for a good price. So now let's open her up and see what's inside. And here, let's pull this box out. Let's see here. Here we go. We've got the drone right here. Very nice, and it's locked here. Let's take this around here. So it's in this big styrofoam case right here, and we just remove this plastic covering. And right away we see the drone here, SJRC, the S70W. And here's its transmitter right here on the side. Pretty nice. It has these protectors here. So that's pretty cool. Very nice transmitter. Doesn't take any batteries. It's meant to be charged. So that's nice. Put that here. We have spare landing legs, which is pretty nice. The instruction manual is in this little case here, so that's pretty cool. And we have the micro USB charging cable right here, just a generic micro USB cable used to charge either the transmitter or the battery on the drone. So let's pull out the drone here. Very nice. There's the remote tilting camera, and right there is the battery. And so very nice, and that seems to be it. I believe this compartment here on the right hand side of the box is for a VR version of this quadcopter. So I believe there's a version that comes with goggles, so you could put in your cell phone in them and you can fly this FPV style. But in any case, if you don't have those goggles, any cell phone holding goggles should work. So So now let's organize all this and take one last look at the contents of the box. Now, taking a last look at the contents of the box, we have the drone itself. It's 7.4 volt, 2500 milliamp lithium ion battery. Its transmitter, spare landing legs, 4 spare propellers, 2 propeller end caps with screws, a screwdriver, a micro USB charge cable for both the transmitter and the battery, and the instruction manual. So that's essentially the contents of the box. Now let's take a closer look at the quadcopter. Now, taking a closer look at this drone, this is a very nice looking drone. It highly resembles a DJI Phantom, so very nice. And as you can see right here at the top, it says SJRC, as well as right here at the front. So very nice looking quadcopter here. It is a brushed motor quadcopter, and interestingly enough, it did not come with any propeller guards, although I'm sure propeller guards are out there for this, as there is a removable plastic piece right here at the ends there where the propellers go. So I'm sure there is a propeller guards out there for this. So very nice looking. Right here at the bottom is its articulating or remote tilting 1080p camera. Now there are several models of this, ones that have a 720p articulating camera, and even perhaps a model that doesn't come with a camera, but this version right here is the Wi-Fi HD camera 920 by 1080p. So, and it is a Wi-Fi streaming camera, so that's pretty cool. Now you can remove, it is mounted there, and you can remove this camera. There are a couple of wires that you just simply have to unplug, and you could put a Bugs 3 mount on there, or I believe a SEMA X8C mount, and you should be able to put like a GoPro and things like that underneath there. So very nice. And this is a very well lit quadcopter here, so very good for orientation and night flying. So we'll just turn it on right here, and as you can see, very well lit, visible from just about every angle, even here from the top. So very nice, and it has good sturdy landing legs here with foamy parts there at the bottom, and just an overall nice looking, good performing quadcopter here. And right here is its smart battery. It does have somewhat of a smart battery. You can see the voltage here, and you know, you turn it off by keeping it pressed there like that, and then turn it on, and that will activate it as well. And the battery does charge using a just any micro USB cable will do. So right here you just plug in the included micro USB cable, or any micro USB cable, and it will charge. It does claim to take about 5 hours to get a full charge. I've seen it go a lot less than that, or at least less than that, to fill all these bars, because once this is used up, you'll be at one circle, and as you keep it charged, it will start incrementing. So it is possible to get to all 4 bars, you know, within an hour and a half, 2 hours, maybe a little more than that. But you could use a 12 watt adapter and plug your micro USB cable into that, and that should charge you in a lot less time. But it does take a while to charge this, but you do get about a 12 to 15 minute flight time with this, perhaps maybe even a little more in some cases. So pretty good there. And yeah, just a very nice quadcopter here. Very easy to remove the landing legs. There are these little switches or buttons down there that you can just simply press and just unlatch each landing leg, so there's no screws or anything like that needed. So real easy to remove the landing legs if necessary, and very easy to remove the camera. And yeah, just a very easy to work with quadcopter. You do have to remove the end caps and unscrew screw in there to remove the propeller. So these are not removable propellers where they're self-tightening or you know, they just clip in. Unfortunately, it's not like that. It'd be nice if it was, but these do require this standard way of screwing them in. So, but yeah, overall, just a very nice looking quadcopter here. And comparing it to a Promark Shadow GPS drone here, as you can see, it's virtually identical, or perhaps even identical to the Promark GPS Shadow drone. Even the transmitters are virtually the same there. Although this may have a couple of modules upgraded. I believe the GPS module on the SJRC has been upgraded to a dual GPS system that has GLONASS and GPS. So because it does grab satellites very quickly and even indoors. So and perhaps its app also has different features than the Promark GPS Shadow drone. And there is also a Holystone HS100 GPS drone that is very similar to this Promark, and it's black and all that. So yeah, definitely this should give you an idea of how it compares to a similar model. And in fact, the batteries are the same as well. Same specs and everything, so you can actually interchange and use the same batteries with the quadcopter. So if you have this kind of model right here, you should be able to plug it in here and power it on, and as you can see, it works with that battery. And the same with the other drone right here. So very interesting there. So yeah, these are just different branding or rebranded models, but these two are definitely right now at a good price, and they're, you know, very affordable GPS drones. The SJRC does offer a 1080p camera option along with a 720p camera, while the Promark, I believe, only offers a 720p camera model at the moment. But overall, this is a great quadcopter. And interestingly enough, I noticed that I can bind this quadcopter with this transmitter, able to bind this transmitter with this quadcopter. So just a little note there to share. So now let's take a closer look at the transmitter. Now, taking a closer look at the transmitter, this is a very comfortable, ergonomic transmitter here with these rubbery grips here on the back. And this transmitter doesn't take any batteries, no AA's or AAA batteries. It has an internal battery that you simply charge right down here through the included micro USB cable. And you can use any generic micro USB cable to charge this. And it does have a built-in section here where you can pull this out and put in a decent sized mobile device in there, so you can use for Wi-Fi FPV flight. And quickly going over the controls here a bit, we have the left throttle stick and right rudder stick. We have the power button. We have the return to home button. We have the auto takeoff and auto land button right there. And right here at the top, we have the speed control here for the various rates of speed. I believe there's 3 to 4 rates of speed here. We have the follow me button, although I believe that mainly works if you have a mobile device currently connected with its app, and it tracks the GPS off of the mobile device, because I don't believe there's a built-in GPS into this transmitter. Right here is the headless mode button. Right here is the angle tilt button, so you can remotely tilt the camera 90 degrees with this roller here. It's not quite a button, it's just a roll control. Here's the picture button, here's the video button. And some of these buttons you can long press to perform other functions, such as the headless mode button. If you keep that pressed, you disable the GPS mode. So you'll see right here with these status icons, which by the way, what they represent is this is the GPS or home lock status. This is the status of whether you're taking pictures or video. This is the speed status. And these icons right here are for the power status of the transmitter. So, but for instance, if you long press the headless mode button, that will disable the GPS mode and you'll be in manual mode. So you'll notice there that the home icon has been disabled because now you're in manual. But if you want to re-enable GPS mode, you long press that and you will see the icon return. And if you long press the follow me button, you will enter trim mode with those two arrow icons right there. And now you can move the joysticks to the desired trim levels. And then you just simply press the button again and it will put it back to its saved state. And if you press, for instance, the photo button, you'll notice that the photo icon flickers there. And if you press the video button, you'll have a series of beeps and you'll see the icon flash like that, indicating that you are recording either to the app or the SD card. So you press that again, the video button, and it will put the icon in its normal state. And then if you increase or decrease the speed here, you should notice changes in the icon as well. And right here with the angle, as you move the angle, you'll hear beeps. And as you move it the other way, you'll hear beeps. You can also keep it pressed to move the articulating camera in the direction that you desire. So that's essentially it for the controls. So now let's take a look at setting this up for a first-time flight. Now, setting this quadcopter up for its first flight is pretty straightforward. Once you have the battery fully charged along with the transmitter and have inserted an SD card, you would first turn on the quadcopter right here by pushing the battery button. You should see some lights flash. At that point, you can turn on the transmitter like so. You'll see the lights blink once again. Now you've got to bind the transmitter to the quadcopter by putting the left stick up and down. At that point, you should be bound. If you do see the rapid blinking pink lights, that means you've got to calibrate the compass. And to do that, you rotate clockwise for about 3 turns on its flat horizontal axis until the rear lights go solid. So we just spin it around a couple of times here, like so. And at that point, you can see the rear lights are now solid while the front ones are flashing. At this point, you want to face the quadcopter down and rotate about 3 times clockwise on its down axis like that. And you'll notice that the front lights are now solid, and now it's blinking white and blue. So it's just waiting to get satellites to go solid. And in fact, there we go. It already caught satellites, and now once all lights are solid, that means it has GPS lock and it's ready to take off. And notice how quickly that was, probably due to the GLONASS and GPS dual GPS system that it has right here on its GPS antenna at the top. But there are a couple of steps that are recommended. If you did not get the flashing pink lights to calibrate the compass, you may want to do it if you're at a new location. And to do that, put both sticks up into the center like so. And once you do that, you'll get the same pink lights again. And then you would just simply rotate the quadcopter on its horizontal axis for 3 spins, and then on its vertical axis. And also, if you want to calibrate the gyros, you would put both sticks up and out like so, and you'll see the flashing. The camera will reset there, and once that's done, all the gyros have been calibrated. And make sure to do that while the quadcopter is flat at the ground level and not moving. So now everything has been bound and calibrated, and the lights are solid. So you're essentially ready to take off with the home point locked in. But you could use this opportunity to connect to the quadcopter and its app to get the Wi-Fi FPV feed. So now let's do that right this second. So once in your mobile device's Wi-Fi settings, you want to look for this entry, SJGPS, and it'll have a serial number there at the end. And initially there is no default Wi-Fi password, so you would connect to that SJGPS in your Wi-Fi settings, and then you would download and run this app right here, SJGPS, and it has this blue SJRC icon right there, SJGPS, which is in your iOS or Android app stores. So you would launch that, and initially you enter this screen here. Now SJRC does have several quadcopters in its lineup, so you would have to navigate to the one that pertains to you, and in this case it's the S70W. So we'll just go to the S70W right here, and within that group there's several versions of their S70W, and you want to look for the 1080p in this case GPS. So right here, S70W 1080p GPS. And there are several options here to, they have tutorial guides, videos to learn how to fly. You have your photo album right here, some support help, quick start guide, but the main one you want to enter are controls right here. So once you hit the controls option there, you are now in the Wi-Fi view of the quadcopter, and as you can see, we now have a live feed here with the quadcopter, and it's very clear, very sharp. It does have a good FPV range of about maybe 100 meters, and the control range looks to be up to 500 meters, so very good control range. And you can actually see that when you go into the settings here for first time flight. You can disable here the beginner mode, and then you can cap out the flight distance at 500 meters, and it does fly for quite a distance, so that seems pretty accurate. And then you can cap your max altitude at 120 meters, and your return to home distance, you can kind of even it off to, you know, whatever you'd like, with the max being 120. So we'll leave it at that, and then we can save. And just briefly going over the controls here, or the app, right here at the bottom you have some statuses. Right here it tells you it's ready to fly, and right here you have your distance, your height, speeds, and so on and so forth. This will take you back to your main menu. This will enable some of the advanced features, such as the follow me, return to home, auto takeoff, auto land, take a picture, record video, and this has voice commands that you can say to the quadcopter, and it'll fly those. Right here you can flip the screen if necessary. Here you can split the screen if you want to put it in VR goggles. Here you can view your photo gallery and your video gallery. Here you have some flight records. Right here you can do the tap to fly, and right here it shows you the voltage or power of the quadcopter, likewise for the transmitter, and if you have GPS lock or not. And this will show you, if you do this right here, you can tap a certain point on the map and the quadcopter will fly in that direction. So overall, a neat setup. So now the quadcopter is all ready. So now let's take her out for a little flight and see how she performs.